welcome back to my channel. My name's Fran and this is my gardening journey. So if you're interested in following along to see how we went from a complete overgrown garden to a wild and natural cottage garden, then hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. The first thing I'm going to show you is our little patio area. We've only done half of it at the moment and we will be doing the other half in the next couple of weeks. I say we, it's actually my partner who's been doing all the manual work. I've just been like buying the little knacky bits and telling them where to put them. But bear in mind we've done this on a budget of £150 and then I have £150 for the other half. A few things to point out was I wanted it to be quite a large space because my son's in a wheelchair, and I wanted him to be able to come out here and enjoy like the flowers, and we've got some wind chimes and like lots of sensory things for him because he's got autism, so he likes things like that. Yeah, so it was really important to get a nice big space that he can come out and enjoy as well, but also like a safe space for him, just to like sit and enjoy. And obviously we want to be able to sit out in the garden and enjoy it. So if you've watched my previous videos, you'll see that the whole garden, especially this front patio area, was like a complete tip. It was dumping ground. It was like up to my waist in brambles and bindweed. It was horrendous, and it just became a dumping ground for like pots and old chairs and like crap, and yeah, it was ridiculous. So yeah, so we have cleared this side. That side is still horrific. I will show you, but please don't judge me because it's all going to the tip, or most of it's going to the tip, or it's being reused for something else. Yeah, so I will show you the reality of it, but I'll also show you the nice bit. So this is the reality. There's my cat Alice. This is the reality. So yeah, it's bad. So this shed is going down the bottom of the garden. It's going to be all emptied because there's a load of stuff in there. That it does go around the side as well. It's just where our bins and things are. We've got loads of like bits like this is going to the tip. That metal chair's being rehoused, and then there's just loads of pots and stuff because I've got a really bad habit of potting stuff up and then just flinging the pots on the floor. So yeah, it's really bad. My dahlias haven't been planted, nothing have died, and like, oh, it's horrific. However, we did put this plant out, which I am loving. It was just a galvanised trough that I bought online. I think it was like 47 quid or something, and they had like different colours. And yeah, I've got some geums, some hostas, hollyhocks, and then I can't remember what that is in there. The solar light. So all of this area is going to be gravelled exactly how I like the other side, which I'll show you in a minute. So it's going to be gravelled. My partner's going to build like a base, wooden base here, so the stones aren't going on that bit, because it will just be too expensive to do the whole lot, and it's concrete, so it's fine. But obviously we don't want the stone to fall out, so this whole area is going to be gravelled and cleared, and we're going to put pond bench is going to come here. This is being rehoused to the pond area, which I will show you in a minute. Yeah, so I will now show you the nice area. So this is our new space, and including that, I already had those, but the chairs were £8 for two, the cushions were £5 each. They were from the recycle shop. The fence was 70 quid, and we bought a ton bag of gravel for £100, and we only used half of it, and then including all the knick-knacky bits, it's come to about £150, and I absolutely love it. And there's so many fairy lights as well. It's just lit, I can't say that, but lit up at night, and there's lots of wildflowers in there. So I have got a few little bit more bits to do. This trellis has got to go on the walls, got some hanging plants, and then I'm going to put some bug houses up there as well. This is being painted cream, and these fence panels are being painted cream as well. That's a miniature plum tree. I've got roses on the other side which will eventually grow over here. That's a hydrangea, and on the archway I've got a clematis growing. So yes, it will all look really cute and I love it. I cleared the greenhouse out. It was like up to the top with raspberries and bindweed, and I planted my tomatoes, aubergines, cucamelons and cucumbers. And then I mulch it with straw, and the reason I do that is because it stops evaporation of water, so it keeps the ground moist underneath. So if we have a heat wave or anything, it really helps with that. Because as you can see, I don't know if you can see in there, temperatures get pretty hot. Yeah, so that's all cleared out. And then this bit is still driving me bonkers. It's that bed there, it's just full of brambles. It's just so bad. These raspberries, I bought them from the pound shop about 5 years ago, and they were planted all the way by the shed there, and then they've grown all the way up here. And this is a willow tree, and it was a random stick that I found about 4 years ago, stuck it in the ground as some sort of support for something, and it's grown. But I actually really like this tree. It's a bit of a bugger because it grows so fast, but there's so many birds in it, and also you'll see in a minute it provides a little bit of shade over the pond. Yes, I'm still working on this area here, and then over here we've started to, excuse the rubbish, started to gravel this area. We've got to get some more bags to fill the back. Oh, my washing line's fallen down, that's typical. I got this eucalyptus tree, this here, off Facebook for 20 quid. And we can see this bird feed from the kitchen window, and there's always like loads of birds coming. It's really nice. Bird pond, feeder, watery thingy, whatever you call it. This is the stone we originally wanted on the other area, but it would have been really expensive. You would have been looking at like £300-400 to do the whole area. So we're just sticking to this area with Cotswold stone, and this area cost, I mean, this little bit here cost about 80 quid, so you can imagine how expensive it'd be for the other areas. But it's just my little potted garden area. And then we're going to use whatever stones we have left on this path, which goes all the way down the bottom. Now what I've been doing here is a no dig garden. So I've got lots of flowers, and I've got a few veggies here, pak choy, got some kale which has been annihilated by the bugs, some beautiful geums, I love these, some fennel for the bees, some salvia, some saxifrage. So originally, if you remember, I had a raised bed here, and all of these are raised beds obviously, but I've actually decided to get rid of the raised beds, because I think they look nice on an allotment site, but in my garden, because I'm going for the wild and natural look, I think it looks a bit messy in my garden personally. So I've started getting rid of them, selling them, and I'm just doing no dig on top of the ground. So hopefully this will come out all nice. This is my wildflower border, so I've left this because it's full of nettles, buddleia, wild flatleaf parsley, blackberries, and I've just dumped a load of like wildflower seeds. So I'm hoping that will be like our May area, whatever you call it. Yeah, so that will just be wild and natural, and there's lots of birds' nests in there as well. And then onto the pond, which we're having a bit of trouble with. We keep putting this duckweed liquid in it to get rid of the duckweed, but it just keeps coming back, so we're raking it out constantly. And then as you can see, the catkins from this is the willow tree that hangs over the seep, so it's nice to sit under, but all the bits just drop into the pond. So yeah, if anyone has any recommendations of like anything we can use to get rid of the duckweed, because it's just taken over. I don't know if you can see that, but we've got about 20 newts in the pond. We've got a couple of smooth newts, and are they called the crested newts or something? Not the rare ones, the other ones. Yeah, and then I think we've got 3 frogs. We bought some pond plants, which seems to be doing alright. I don't know why that's in there. This stuff here is watercress, which actually we bought a bag of watercress from Morrison's and dumped it in the pond, and it just took root. Apparently it's really good for your pond. So we're just going to see how that goes. And this is my little bench I like to sit on in the morning. I'll take you around so you can see the view, but unfortunately the bench is just it's just had it, and it's just breaking, as pretty as it is. So this is the little view from the pond in the morning, all the wild area. So I usually sit here with a cup of coffee. Got the ivy, which is great for birds. It needs trimming back, but I'm waiting for nesting season to finish. Yes, I do love this area, but fortunately this isn't safe to sit on anymore, so we're going to get that swing seat that I showed you earlier, put that down here. That's going to go at the top and just be used as like a decorative area. And then we need to do something with the border of this, because the pond line is showing, and we think we've got a hole as well, so that needs to be sorted. What else can I show you? Oh, the little bug houses. Haven't had any birds nesting yet, but we've had loads of bees. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. The bottom of the garden we haven't really done much with. I planted my potatoes in there, which is the old chicken coop, but unfortunately I didn't think about it properly, and there's not much light down there, and they've gone really leggy. So yeah, I don't know if we're going to get many potatoes. We do have a lot of cherries though. I can't find any on. There we go. Got loads of cherries this year. And our garlic hasn't done very well this year, unfortunately, and there's loads of grass in there. So I've kind of given up the garlic, so I just planted my pumpkins and my squash in there, and I've just put a bit of this wool stuff around to kind of protect from the slugs. But yeah, the whole idea is now to get rid of these raised beds, cover the whole area in compost, so we've got more planting space, make a couple of little paths, maybe pop a little table and chair up there somewhere. Yeah, so it's all coming together. It's getting there. Well, bearing in mind we only have weekends ready to do everything, and obviously I've got Ben's care as well, so it's just sort of as and when we can get out. But yeah, it's coming along. So that's my little update. Any comments, like any suggestions or anything, any advice, like leave it in the comments below. And I would love for you to follow my journey and see how we're getting on.